Today, we are going to talk about Zoom's new AI features and how they're trying to get us to use them, and the actual feature. We'll use words like messenger effect, defaults, path of least resistance. So here we go. So the first thing, and really interesting, good job Zoom, thing that they've done is have Michael Stern ask me to turn on AI Companion. Michael Stern is a behavioral scientist on our team. He's wonderful. And if he were to ask me to do something, I would pay attention. I would likely do it that day. Versus if Zoom's marketing department were to send me an email and say, hey, Kristen, we've launched some new features. I'd be like, that's interesting. And maybe in the future I would pay attention. So what Zoom is doing is the messenger effect. They are having a trusted source ask me to do something. In the PM world, this is called product-led growth. And that is a fancy word for not having a sales team. It's also a fancy word in our world for behavioral science, which is understanding the psychology of your users and then figuring out how you could help them prioritize. Our team does want to use AI stuff in our workflows. Of course, we want to be more productive. And so Zoom has really gotten this to the top of my to-do list. So let's enable. But by the way, this thing, enable AI Companion, is actually kind of scary because if I click it and I don't know enough, it's possible I would enable it for my whole team without knowing enough. So typically in these types of emails, you would have a lower bar. You would say something like learn more, continue, see it in action, so that you're getting more people to continue to the next step. We'll do it. We'll click enable. Wonderful. So, and I'd actually turned all of these on before, but you can imagine as I was prepping for this, but you can imagine they're turned off. We're going to go disable, and I'm landed here, and now I have to turn them all on. So Zoom basically has unbundled all of their AI features into this long list. And the thing that Michael was asking me to do is actually probably the most valuable feature in all of this list, which is a meeting summary. The likelihood that I would want a chat or a summary of my whiteboard with AI is a little bit farther out versus Zoom is a meeting app. And my gosh, if I could just get a summary of this. So if I were to click enable, it's going to enable it for all group and user settings. You could imagine that potentially, again, we're trying to reduce uncertainty to do anything. And many times if you have any kind of risk aversion, especially if you're managing a large organization, as many B2B sales do, it's not about me making a decision for myself, it's me making a decision for everyone. And so there's likely a chance that Zoom could have probably had more people opt in to say, by enable this for a smaller group or enable this for everyone, and by having a this or that comparison versus just a yes or no, more people may have taken the jump, but we'll say enable. The other thing that they've done here seems like legal jargon. Meeting summary uses AI technology, which may involve third-party models. Oh, that's so scary. What is a third-party model? And so likely they're trying to help give you information, give you more information to help you make your decision, but that just increases my uncertainty about what the heck I'm getting into. Like, are people going to, I don't know, are people going to be getting all the meetings? Is this going into a public model and all of our private data is going to be shared? And so, one way to decrease uncertainty is using social norms. So you could imagine saying something like, Zoom has this approved by the top security experts that your data is private. That would be a non-jargon way to give me confidence as an admin to opt in without, compromising an NDA or any kind of confidentiality agreement that our company likely has. So good job on the messenger effect. Not so well executed on these kind of very, high decision, cognitive overload type thing to get me to opt into every single one of these features. The second thing that they've done is they've had, if I didn't opt in through that way, I could have just logged into my Zoom account and I have like this introducing AI Companion pop-up that is in the bottom right corner and probably wouldn't have opted in. So this would maybe be the classic way to get people to do a thing. I'm generally disappointed with whoever wrote this copy. It's like 4 lines. People are not going to be usually when you're logging into an app, you're task oriented. So this is going to interrupt my task without any kind of urgency or really compelling value prop. And if I click try it today, Okay, so I'm now going to say, I have to click another time, try it today. So this is not the path of least resistance. The path of least resistance would be something like, it's ready for you, turn it on here to get the summary of the meeting that you just did. So if you could reimagine this flow, you'd say, I just did a meeting. It actually sends me an email that says, would you like the AI summary of the meeting? And then I would say yes. And then I say, great, would you like to enable this for everyone else to get as well versus just you get the benefit? And you can say, try it today. So this is, wow. So this is not product-led growth. This is not behavioral science, but the clever, the messenger effect is. So now we'll actually go look at the feature. We are going to look at the actual meeting summaries. So this is a meeting that I had. The summary is fine. I've used a fair amount of these AI summary apps and it's fine. The probably not the best and not terrible. The thing that they do nail is this next steps. So, if we're thinking about a workflow for somebody who's attending a meeting, the likely thing that you'd want to do with a summary is email it out. And the thing you'd want to have in the email is the next steps. And so of the 3 meetings that I've done now with Zoom AI Companion, they have nailed the next steps, and that's really lovely. So as a PM here, instead of basically solving this summary thing and calling it a day, like saying, I checked the box with AI, you'd complete the workflow and you would say, actually, let me pre-draft an email for you to all of the people who attended with a link to the summary, a link to the transcript. By the way, the transcript tends to be more helpful if you actually want to go into some specifics on an email. The summary is nice, but the transcript, if you're diving in, also nice. So it would include a link to the transcript, which Zoom already has, and the next steps. And so we'd be actually making people more productive because we'd be focusing on the thing that you want to do for meetings, which is the action items that come from it. So, we all say we spend a lot of time in meetings. The way to get them to be more productive is to focus on decisions and actions. And so if Zoom can help us do this, that's really wonderful. It seems like this is kind of a half-baked feature right now. This is like, we've got the table stakes of AI, check the box. I really do hope that the Zoom folks will complete the cycle and actually help me be more productive by helping me complete the actions for these. I'm going to send Daniel a list of questions. So that for sure, because I'm on this call and pre-committing to that, I'll definitely do that.